Well, welcome to Tea Time with Miss Liz. That's right, it's tea time again, and we're having evening tea. So tonight in the studio, I am joined with Kirsten Kay. So I'm going to share a little bit on who she is, and then we'll get right into her 21-day challenge and all of the other good goodies that she has in store for all of us. So Kirsten was born and raised in Southern California, where she spent her childhood growing up on an acre of land that her grandfather had made into an urban forest of a variety of fruit trees. Her parents and grandparents were all teachers and helped instill in her an appreciation and love for being outside, valuing a good education and giving back to the community. Kirsten was truly fortunate to be able to study, volunteer, and even work abroad while traveling so many amazing places around the world. She volunteered with the Earthwatch Institute in Barbados, conducting research and educating locals on sea turtles conservation issues. Kirsten also studies abroad for 6 weeks while backpacking through Brazil during her college years. While obtaining her BA in Environment Studies, Kirsten then attended Pace Law School in New York, studying to become an environmental lawyer, but unfortunately became extremely ill and had an autoimmune disease. Sorry if I'm saying anything wrong. My tongue is just a little twisted. And that forced her to drop out of law school and figure out a new path forward. She understands firsthand that not everything goes as planned, and she has extensive experience with overcoming real life struggles on a daily basis. After taking some time to try to heal, Kirsten then took an opportunity to live and work abroad for over 6 years in Cayman Islands for John Michael Kuster, ambassador of the environment based at the Ritz-Carlton Grand Cayman. Working as an educational leader within a major luxury hotel corporation presented her with a unique opportunity to inspire adults, families, and children to appreciate their environment around them and to share with them a new perspective of the role they play in creating a better world. Kirsten also continued to volunteer with some incredible organizations as she assisted with the Blue Penguin Recovery Program and the Sea Turtle Conservation Program with the Department of the Environment in the Cayman Islands. Kirsten then returned to California to be closer to her family, where she worked as an educational assessment coordinator for Loma Linda University School of Medicine, and most recently enjoyed working as a resource educator for the Riverside Corona Resource Conservation District. Kirsten developed and taught educational programs and attended community outreach events where she shared resources and helped to educate the local public about sustainable practices. But Kirsten has always put her whole heart into every job she has ever had. She still felt that she was not quite fulfilling her own personal life aspirations. When COVID hit, Kirsten found that she could no longer hesitate in taking action and decided it was time to utilize her various experiences to fulfill her own purpose by creating Link to Humanity. And that's why we're here. This has been a project in the works for some time, but watching the world become further and further divided, she knew she could not wait any longer to share Link to Humanity with the world. Through Link to Humanity, Kirsten hopes to empower people to reconnect to each other and to the environment, instilling wonder and inspiring them to take personal actions to create a positive impact in our world and a more sustainable future by living with purpose. To better understand what Linked to Humanity means to Kirsten and how a special movement involving frogs as a little girl changed her life forever, please watch her video part 1, Intro to Links to Humanity, which I believe is on your YouTube channel, correct?
Yes, it is.
And Kirsten's experience over many years of interacting with people of all ages and backgrounds has helped her to understand how so much disregard and misunderstanding is due to a lack of education, awareness, and shortage of access to important resources. She has come to appreciate that only by demonstrating to people and mentoring them in their everyday decisions, can she have the impact she wants in helping to create positive change towards a more sustainable future? That is an amazing bio. Oh my God. And I have been super, super excited for this tea time because, as many of you know, I am a humanitarian. And when I found Kirsten, I was like, oh my God, I need this girl on tea time so bad. Like, so bad.
Well, thank you for having me.
So thank you so much, Kirsten, for accepting and being on Tea Time with me today. So could you share a little bit on the backstory and how we got to where Linked to Humanity started and where it's going?
Yes. So like the bio said, I'm a resource educator, and I've done a lot of environmental education, mostly outdoors and out in the environment, and then most recently in classrooms. But I just had this calling that I wanted to do more, and especially when COVID hit and there was so much, it just seemed like everything was negative and there was so much division. I just felt that I really needed to do something to help share the beauty that I see all around me and the inspiration that I find in the world, and to help other people see the strength that I know they have in their hearts. And that if we can all come together with kindness and love and move forward, that we can create a better community and create a better version of humanity. So that's where it all stemmed from. And so I started with I just published a little book called To Be Alive, which was basically my nature photography from around the world with some of my positive and optimistic viewpoints of life, and hopefully also sharing with others the strength that they have inside of them.
So I'm gonna bring up the things that you mentioned. So you did mention the book. So I'm gonna bring up the book, and then we can show everybody this amazing book, and then you can say it and share a little bit more on what the book is and all that. So I'm gonna just get that.
And I do have a copy here. So it's an ebook, and it's also you can also purchase it paperback through Amazon. But I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's just a little paperback book, mostly like nature photography from around the world. And there's the blue iguana that I helped with some of my volunteer experiences. But yeah, so that's the little book there.
So I'm going to scroll through your book site so that people can see where they can reach you as well, Kirsten.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so to me, it's just really important that I think it's so easy to get distracted by everyday life, and that we're all get caught up in that rat race and we lose sight of what we really want to do, or we get overwhelmed with life and then we lose sight of the love and the kindness that we all have and that we can all share, and that we can create positive impacts. And it doesn't take a lot to create a positive impact. Every single person can do that every single day. And so that's really where I was coming from, and that I feel like if we can just have an area and create a community where we can be inclusive and people can support one another to just fulfill their dreams and their aspirations to be create a more sustainable future where we can help others and our planet at the same time.
So you have a really incredible story. Like, as I was reading your bio, you've been around, like, I mean, all over. So what experiences did you get from doing all of those incredible things?
I have to say that probably while I really appreciated and enjoyed my college university years, my favorite experience and where I learned the most was when I did backpacking for 6 weeks, and it was actually Belize. And I learned more in those 6 weeks about life and the world than I did in my 4 years of university. But I got to meet at least 7 different cultures in one tiny country, and to be firsthand backpacking through the rainforest was really incredible. And it was really amazing because we actually got credit for writing a research paper, but basically it had to be on a local issue. And so mine happened to be on the Prado Dam, which was a dam that was going to be built on a local river there. And so I had to interview the local people to find out what they thought about it and what kind of problems it was going to create. And it just gave me a really good perspective that there's always more than one side to a story. And I think we often forget that. And sometimes there's even more than two sides to a story. And so I think it really just comes back to that having those experiences of being able to interact with so many diverse people and getting that opportunity just really opened my eyes that if we can just become more accepting and realize that diversity is a good thing, and that if we can become inclusive and include people rather than shut them out, that we'll have a better opportunity of creating a better future for all of us. And that we truly are all connected. So even when I was in the middle of the rainforest, there were connections there that I could then bring back home into what I would call civilization, right? But just so important that we truly are all connected and we're all on the same planet Earth. So what we do to ourselves and what we do to others, we're also doing to the planet and vice versa. So we have to take care of each other and our home.
So when I was reading your bio, I was like, oh my God, like this girl has been all over. Like she's been with turtles, she's been with frogs, and I'm just like, oh my God, she's so much like me. Like I just want to play with the frogs and yes. Turtles and all that. So I really, really am blown away by how much you have done.
Oh, thank you. Like, I've been very fortunate. Yes, I've been very, very fortunate. And it's very interesting as well because like my bio said, I was one of those people that thought I had my whole life planned out from day one. You know, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was going to become an environmental lawyer and fight for all the environmental activists. And then when I got to law school, I did get sick, and it definitely knocked me on my butt and pulled the rug out from under my feet. And suddenly the life that I had planned wasn't there anymore. And so I had to figure out what I was going to do next. And it really was by turning to nature and going to work in the Cayman Islands, which you can't ask for a more beautiful place to be, that I was able to start to heal a little bit and then just get re-inspired. And then I was able to move on from there. And so it really, I have to say, nature saved me in that regard.
So we have a 21-day challenge that I see on your back of your screen here. So could you tell us what that 21-day challenge is? And I believe it starts June 1st, right?
It does start June 1st. And yes, so the reason I've created this 21-day challenge is so that you feel empowered and so that you know that you can take action. By the end of this 21-day challenge, you will have the resources and the tools to not only feel like you've improved on yourself and that you have more empowerment, but that you also have the tools you need to take positive action to create a more sustainable future. So the first week is kind of more about self-growth. And I think sometimes we don't all get taught those life skills that we need, like a good mindset, and that I know we don't want to wash over that everything needs to be positive, but having an optimistic standpoint and mindset can really help propel you forward. And so the first week is kind of more about empowerment tools and connecting and realizing that we want to celebrate our uniqueness and that we all have strength within. And then the second week is more focused on how we are all connected, because we're all stardust, which I think is so cool. We're all related. It doesn't matter where you are. We're all made of the same stuff. So that's really fun. And just that with that connection, then comes our responsibility to take care of each other and our planet. And we only have one Earth. And so then the third week sums up and gives you solutions and actions that you can take to then make sure that you know you're making a positive impact as you move forward. and make sure you feel like you're living with purpose and that you're accomplishing the goals you want to do. So that's kind of a quick sum up of the 21-day challenge.
So the first week is more on self-care
Yes.
in order to care about our planet, right? To care about humanity.
Yes. And that sometimes I think self-care, and that we often don't realize the strength we have within ourselves. It's easy, especially with as many advertisements as we get bombarded with, that it's easy to feel like you're not enough. And it's important that you are enough and you can accomplish the things you want to do. So we start there with celebrating your uniqueness and celebrating the person you are and embracing that we all have faults, so nobody's perfect. And then moving from there into what we really want to do to create a positive impact. So
I love it.
Thank you.
I'm all about self-care because we don't take care of ourselves enough.
Yeah.
We have to set the examples. We have to be the role models. If we want to change in the world, we have to be that role model, right?
Yes.
And I think that's where I connected so much with you. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for this tea. Like, I was like, oh my goodness. And then you were like, can you share my book? And I was like, a book? Oh my goodness, she has a book too. So, and she does have an amazing website. So I'm going to bring the website up and then you can share a little bit about the website.
Sure. Thank you.
And then I'll bring up all the different links where you can be reached and all of that. And anything you would like to share with the viewers out there right now on who is Kirsten Kay and what is making you stand so bright and so tall with Link to Humanity?
I guess just because I'm really following my passion, and I just have always had this drive to help others and to help save animals and to help protect our Mother Earth. And I think Link to Humanity is bringing all of that together. And I just really want to reach people and let them know they're not alone, especially in this crazy time that we have right now, that we are all connected and that we truly are stronger together. And we just really, really need to embrace that concept, and that the actions we take, especially in the next 10 years, are really going to decide what happens not only for ourselves or the human race, but for the whole planet moving forward. And so that's part of what the challenge will go into, is with climate change. And regardless of how you feel about it, I promise you that there are actions and solutions for you, and there's really amazing resources. So every day within the challenge, I give you probably way more resources than any one person wants because, like I said, I pour my heart into everything. So, but those resources will be there for you for as long as you want. So even if you don't get to them within the 21 days, you can go back and look at those resources. But I have spent many, many hours looking up videos and songs and inspirational things and educational resources and organizations that you can click on and contribute to and join, and different ways that you can really start to take action. And I have a lot of really great sustainable products that I help share, so that we know that there are everyday choices that you can do and to help make a difference. So
I had brought up your website, Kirsten. So if you want to share a little bit on the website, I did see something about a soap, if I remember right, at the bottom of the website.
Yes. So it's how to be rejuvenated, because we all need that. We want to strengthen our resiliency. I want you to become your own force of nature, and then I'll help you to become a link to humanity. And it's for people that want to become the best versions of themselves, and then also make a positive impact in the world. So I have a little intro video, and I say, come grow with me, because that's what it's all about, right? None of us are perfect, and we can all grow together and keep improving each day. And yes, it does start on June 1st. So that's Tuesday. I tried to hold off so that you didn't have to start on a holiday for Memorial Day. But yeah, and then I will run it again as well. So as much as I would love everyone to sign up right away for June 1st, if it's not something you can do at this time, please come back and check out my webpage and come back again, because I will be running the challenge multiple times, because I want to get as many people as possible. And then you can see you deserve to be rejuvenated and happy. You deserve to feel like you're living with purpose. And so those are the things and you deserve a fresh start to figure out a new path forward, because it's easy to get lost. And so that's something I will help guide you through. And so I also will provide worksheets and different pages that you can do and exercises that I've created to help you move forward and to feel like you're advancing. So, and yeah, join the challenge today.
I really love the word deserve, because when we hear that word deserve, people who don't self-care, that word is hard for them to hear, you know?
It is. And we deserve more than just waking up every day, rushing into the rat race, and, you know, working as hard as we possibly can to just put food on the table and then come home, go to bed, and do it all over again. There's more to life than that. And so I know we're not all necessarily in a position where we can embrace that, but I think we all need to start to find those little moments of the miracles that happen every day, all day long, and realize that those are there, and embrace those moments so that we can start to see that there is more to life than just the craziness. So.
And I love this statement here. Here's the truth. If anybody knows Miss Liz, the truth hurts. I'm always speaking truth, whether you want to hear it or not, because we need to hear the truth. And I think that's why we connected so much, Kirsten, is because of the words and the way, the format of how you have linked to humanity. It just kind of was like a calling. I was like, I just need this girl. Like,
well, thank you. It is true. We do need to, and it is true. We don't like to face the truth, and I didn't like to face the truth for a long time either. But I had to just, you know, decide, okay, I'm going to do this and put myself out there. It's scary, but that's okay, because this is my true calling and this is what I want to do. So, and that's where you are amazing too, because you are following your heart, and you're not only putting yourself out there, but you're helping others do that as well. So thank you for what you do. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm different, and a lot of people are, why do you do this? And the reason that I do this is because there are so many incredible people like Kirsten out there who don't get seen, who don't get heard, and who are making a difference. And that's what Teatime is about. It's about making a difference, right? Because the big guys always get seen, but the little guys don't get seen, and that doesn't work for me. So that's the truth. The truth hurts. So Miss Liz came in here, and I brought my cup of tea, and we're getting everyone seen, because I believe everyone has a backstory, and everyone does what they do, and they have their calling and their purpose at a time when they're ready. Because I wasn't ready for this. I was just like, it was a calling, and I just feel pulled to do it. And I feel in my heart that this is what I'm meant to do. So, and that's why I go and I look for guests that are calling to me and who have the similar connections and similar things in life, you know?
Well, and that's why, again, it's linked to humanity, because as much as I love nature, and I'm an environmentalist for sure, but it's more than just about the environment. It's that we truly are all connected, and that we truly can find common ground if we open our hearts and our minds to it. It just depends on what boundaries we want to break down and what preconceptions that we want to break. But in reality, we are truly connected. And so we just need to really find that and embrace that so that we can create a better humanity, because there's no reason for the ugliness that is out there in the world right now. It's just terrible.
Exactly, right?
We can do better.
Exactly. We can do better, you know, and when we work together, we can do better.
Exactly.
You know,
and I just want to throw out there that, yes, anybody else that is out there and, you know, trying to make connections, that I'm here for that too. Like, will love to help support you, and if you help support me, because that's what it's all about, and making those connections and around the globe, not just in your backyard. And so it's really important that we embrace everybody and we work together to create a more sustainable future so we can all thrive rather than just survive. So,
and I like that you said that, not just in our own backyards, because we need to connect with different countries, different traditions. We need to open that door. We need to have that open mind in understanding, you know?
Yes, and we really do.
Yeah, truly, truly, truly. So I'm going to bring up a couple of pages that, Kirsten, you can you can say a little bit on them, and people can follow you on these pages, I believe, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to bring them up one by one. So she does have her YouTube channel.
And I am hoping to get that a little more up and running. I'm hoping to try to start maybe giving some reviews about some of the sustainable products that I've been using. So if you want to stay tuned for that, I'm working on that. But right now it's mostly my backstory and then the intro to the challenge. And as I develop more, I'll put more there. But that's the YouTube station. But stay tuned.
Be sure to subscribe to that channel because that's going to be an amazing channel. You're going to get to see all of that incredible stuff for the challenge. So be sure to subscribe.
Yes,
and that's what we do is we connect. And all of the viewers out there, if you would like to have Kirsten Kay on your podcast or on your anywhere, reach out to her. Amazing young lady. I'm telling you, you want to have her on your podcast so she can get this 21-day challenge out there. And that's what I'm about. I'm about networking and sharing these incredible guests with everyone. I don't keep my guests to myself. I share them. So I share my cup of tea with everybody. So, and then the next page that she has that I'm going to bring up, I believe is her Pinterest. So any of you Pinterest people out there, follow that page.
Yes, please. So I have Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. And what I've been trying to do is post what's my own photography every day, and then from around the world and my travels, and then also inspirational quote. Quotes really speak to me. So I'm one of those. I remember in high school, my room just had postcards all on the wall of all the different quotes that inspired me. But I love to share words of wisdom with other people. And so I do share a quote every day, and then also my little take or spin on it of how we're connected, or a little piece of inspiration, or a little support for the day, something to help get you started or elevate you if you're feeling down, because we all have those moments and we all need help.
Exactly. Yes. And then we have her Instagram page.
Yes, so there you can see some.
You can see some of the incredible frogs, and her posts are just amazing.
Oh, thank you.
The animals, the colors are just engaging. Like they really pull you in. Like really, really, truly beautiful post here. And that. So I really love what you're doing with Link to Humanity. And like I said, anything that you need from me at all to help you get out there, let me know. I will share it. I will get it out there. And anybody who's watching the replay, share this video, because all of the tea times get uploaded to Miss Liz's Tea Time YouTube channel, and you can share these. You can share them with anyone you want. If you are looking for somebody to speak on what Kirsten has done in her past and even now, you have worked with some amazing people, like, inspired the young generation, the children, especially the education.
That's the part that was the most fun. So working in the Cayman Islands, and it was for Jean-Michel Cousteau's Ambassadors of the Environment. I remember because it was the Ritz-Carlton, we had to be really careful what we did because they're very, I guess you could say, high-end guests often. And so a lot of VIPs. But I remember that we had, because I was there 6 years, the kids started when they were 4, but the same families would come back year after year after year, which was really interesting to me. I didn't realize that people did that, but they loved that place so much that they did that. And so over 6 years, it was so fun to watch those 4-year-olds that we would get to teach them that had never seen stars because they lived in New York City and they hadn't looked up. And then we'd show them astronomy and teach them stories about astronomy. And then they got to hold a hermit crab and, different things like that. And I just remember one of the VIP dads coming in and being so angry because he's like, "What did you teach my child yesterday? She freaked out when I ordered crab last night." And I was like, "Oh no, okay." And then I found out that I had her the day before it was called Life on the Edge. And it was an activity where we take them to tide pools and we teach them about the animals. And we had held hermit crabs all morning. And we talked about how even the crabs help in breaking down everything. So there's no waste in nature. And so that we want to protect them and all of that. And so she, even as a 4-year-old, held that onto that and then fought with her dad. But after I explained it, he was like, wow, that's really amazing that you were able to get through to her that quickly and in that short of time and make that impact. And so what was kind of a, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble, turned into a great experience. And it made me realize that even though not every day, is going to be like that, I realized that I could make an impact. So that was a really fun experience. But yes, working with children is amazing because they haven't been already ruined by society, right? They're still so open and fresh and they're still curious. And that's another thing that I really push in my challenge is that we want to use our curiosity to fall back in love with the world. And because we only protect what we love. So we want to fall in love with the world.
I really like that because with everything going on with COVID and everything, we really need that education. We need to really fill the children's minds with curiosity again. We need to keep them busy, keep the imagination open, So again, anybody who is out there who's watching now or watching a replay, check out Kirsten Kay's. Like this girl has done so much and like I am blown away. Like when I read your bio, I was like, oh my God, she got to do this, she got to do that. And I was like, oh my God, that's the little girl that in me that wanted to do that, Like I'm going to be doing this 21-day challenge. Like I am so excited for it. I'm like, I can't wait.
Well, thank you.
So now I'm going to switch it up a little because that's what Miss Liz does. I switch it up all the time. And I kind of bring the tea in. Now we bring the tea in.
Okay.
So what does tea mean to you, Kirsten?
Ooh, that's a good question. I actually love tea. I'm not probably into it as much as some people that really are experts in it, but I do love all the different flavors and the different things that it can help create. So I've been more recently, especially with health and stuff, I've been looking into ways that tea can help you heal and the different natural ingredients that it has and how they really do affect you. But I'm really enjoying, I've been looking more into mushrooms, not in a psychedelic way, but just in a healthy, natural.
I have a girlfriend who's into mushrooms. Trust me, I should hook you guys up because she put some pretty mushrooms on. I was like, oh my God, those are nice mushrooms. She's like, oh, they taste good. I was like, I'm not a mushroom person, but they look pretty.
My best friend cannot stand mushrooms, like the texture. It's so funny. But they have a lot of really important nutrient value. And I'm learning, even in the challenge, I put a little blog about it because I'm actually feeding my dog food now. That's just mushroom protein. There's all these new things coming out that are really, it's a very sustainable product. There's even mushrooms that they're discovering that may, or fungus of a type, that may be able to help break down when there's oil spills and eat plastic possibly. So there's a lot of new technologies and stuff. But sorry, I got sidetracked. So back to the tea.
No, that's okay. Because maybe there's a mushroom tea out there. I'm not sure. I haven't even looked into mushroom tea. I'm not a mushroom person. I think they're pretty. But the texture, I just can't do the texture.
You're like my best friend. But the ingredients in tea, I think, are so important and that it can be so soothing and calming, just the aroma and the flavor. Like if you really, and I think that's part of it in self-care, that it's so important that even if you're just drinking a cup of coffee or tea, that you just take that moment and be mindful in that moment and say, I'm so grateful for this cup of tea, and let it soak into you and enjoy that moment and say, wow, I can smell this aroma. I can feel it as it, goes down. It just warms my body. It's just, I think it's an important moment to just relax and let it do its job because it's wonderful. Tea can be so great.
See, this is why we're connected because she gets it. She gets it. Now, if I give you the letter TEA, what words come to mind for each letter?
Let's see. Terrific, empowering, probably amazing, but yeah.
Oh, I like that. Again, as you all see, Each tea time guest is different because I have not had these words for tea.
Oh, well, that's good.
And I love that because that's how I show the difference, right? Because
Yeah.
everyone sees their cup of tea differently. So when you look at tea, it's exciting for you, you know?
Yeah.
For me, when I look at tea, it's teaching educational awareness. Because I believe that we need to teach and educate to bring awareness.
Yes.
And when we sit and drink our teas, we are sharing our tea stories. So we're bringing awareness to ourselves, who we are.
Yes. That's perfect. That's beautiful. I love it.
So you'll see that on many of my posts. You'll see tea and you'll see teaching educational awareness. And a lot of people will ask me, well, you're not teaching math and you're not teaching science. Yes, I am.
Yes.
I am teaching it in a different way.
Exactly. In a way that people might actually want to learn it.
Exactly, the fun way, because I hate math.
Yes.
I used to love math, but I don't know. As I got older, it was like, oh, I can't do you.
Yes. Make it more complicated. And I think a lot of parents would relate to you because they keep creating these new processes that we weren't taught. And now you get this problem and they want you to do like 50 steps for one problem. And it's just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
There's so many different ways to learn things. And I think that's so important for people to realize that when you're learning something and if it doesn't click with you, try to look at it from a different perspective or learn it in a different way, because it doesn't mean that you're a failure because you can't learn it right away. Know that it's because you're probably not being taught it in the right way. So don't allow yourself ever to feel like a failure if you don't get something right away, but know that there's other ways to be curious about it and find ways about it. So one other thing in my 21-day challenge is I talk about citizen science, and that's all about contributing to science, but everyday citizens get to do it. And there's so many different cool apps out there and different ways to do that. So we can all be scientists, when a lot of people would say, "Ugh, I hate science. I don't want anything to do with it." But if you like flowers, if you like clean water, if you like stars, if you like tea, it doesn't matter. There's always some way for you to get connected and involved. So I love that. Education and awareness is definitely key to everything. So
exactly.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
there you go, viewers. I am teaching science through Kirstyn. There's my science class for all of you out there. Yeah. So if you could change anything in the world right now, what would you change?
I guess people's mindsets. That I just feel like people are so negative right now, or they all think their way is the right way, or that they all have tunnel vision, or that they can only see one side. And if I could change anything, it would be that everybody could see the beauty and the love that we all have in us and in all creatures and in all living systems. And that if we could just connect from a place of love and don't judge, don't jump to conclusions, but rather just be aware. Like, awareness is really key, or observe and then create your decisions, but don't jump to conclusions and don't judge. But know that we are truly all connected when it counts, if we're willing to be open to that. So I just would love to be able to just throw, balls of light into everybody's heart and open up their heart and just say there's love and kindness to be shared with everybody. If we could just do that. I would love to do that.
And there's a reason behind all of the questions that I ask all my tea time guests, because I want people to see different perspectives. I don't want people to just tune into tea time and it's all Miss Liz's perspectives. This is why I have different tea guests and different flavors and different blends and different countries, because there's so many different things that we can teach one another if we open our minds, if we choose to open our minds and learn.
Exactly.
Yes,
it's so important. And what we think is the right way is because we don't know other ways. But once our eyes are opened and we get a different experience or a different perspective, then suddenly you can now include both of those ideas or multiple ideas, and it makes you stronger, and it makes everybody stronger if we can just embrace diversity. And biodiversity is the key to all life as well. And where our cultures are diverse is where our biodiversity is also diverse. So it's truly important that we support diversity on all levels so that humanity can continue forward and in a better way rather than hurting each other and canceling each other out. And that's just really sad. So we can do better.
That's right, we can.
Yes.
You know, and I really appreciate your words, Kirsten, because we need to hear these words more often, you know. We need to open our minds. We need to try. We need to make a difference, you know. And if we don't try, we don't know.
Right. And we don't know. And we're still, even like my whole life has been just involved with like nature and the amazingness around me. But every day I still learn something new that just blows my mind, you know. And so that's where I get the energy. And even on the days where I'm really tired or I'm struggling or something's wrong, I know that if I go out into nature and I just allow myself to be open, and my boyfriend made fun of me because in my challenge I said, put on my little curiosity cap. He's like, who are you? I said, I don't know. I'm pretty me.
I'm the curiosity cat.
Yeah, put on the curiosity cap, go outside and just let the world amaze you, because we should be amazed. The world is incredible. Everything about it. The fact that we are here is a miracle. The fact that, we're breathing, that our lungs are working, that there's air to breathe is a miracle. So we need to be living as though everything was a miracle rather than that everything is wrong and broken. We can decide what we focus on. And yes, there are many things we need to improve, of course, and there are actions that we need to take, most definitely. But we can still be amazed and have joy and be happy and just appreciate, have gratitude. Just have gratitude. That's what I ask everybody. From this day forward, have gratitude for all the things you have in your life. Because even if I'm folding clothes, I can be grateful that I have those clothes to fold, right?
Exactly, right? Even if we don't enjoy it, we got clothes to fold, right? Because some people don't have those clothes.
That's right. So just be grateful.
Exactly. So is there anything else you would like to share with the viewers out there before we close up this tea time?
Just that I really appreciate any support that you have, because I am trying to help make a positive difference. So if you can help share me and support what I'm doing, I really appreciate that. And I'm just looking to create a community where we can feel supported and inclusive, and where everybody is welcome, and where we can support one another in creating positive impacts towards a more sustainable future. So I really appreciate everything that all of you wonderful people are doing, especially you, Miss Liz. And just, yes, thank you so much for having me. And thank you for helping to share this and get it out there, because I want to touch as many lives as I can.
And I believe you will.
Thank you.
The universe has a funny way of making me open a door for others. I don't know how it's done, but it's connecting those dots, right? If we don't open that dot, then the next dot don't come. So
yep.
I'm the dot girl. Like I just open doors for others along the way, because I feel that that's my purpose in that. And I believe that we can make a difference through a cup of tea. We can actually change lives with just one cup of tea.
Yes.
Because a cup of tea is you. A cup of tea is the next guest. Another cup of tea is another guest. So the dots are connecting one by one. The cups are connecting one by one. And I really want everyone who's out there, who's watching now and who's watching the replay, to connect and just connect your dots. What's not meant for me is meant for you. Not every dot is meant for us, but we can make a difference if we connect the dots and we keep our minds open, like Kirsten said.
That's great.
So I really want to thank you for joining me today on Tea Time. And I want to thank all the viewers out there who are watching now and who are watching the replay. Thank you. And again, check out this 21-day challenge, because I know I will. I need to do some self-care. I need to do some grounding. I need to just...
Well, I need this. So it really does. And it's got a ton of resources. So that's my main goal, is to make sure you leave feeling very inspired and like that you have tools to do what you want to do. So I appreciate being on the show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you so much. And to all the viewers out there, if you would like to be on Tea Time, just reach out to Miss Liz. I am here to make a difference. That's all I do. I just hold the pot and I open the door. That's all I do. You guys are the cup, you guys are the vessel, and you will make the difference. So we will make a difference one cup of tea at a time. And today I'm drinking some blackcurrant tea because it comes from the earth. And we are humanitarians. So we do celebrate all of the beautiful flavors that come from the earth. So again, thank you again for joining me on Tea Time, Kirsten. And stay in contact because I do love to stay in contact with all of my guests out there. And
Definitely.
if anybody would like to know more on Kirsten, check her out on YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram.
Facebook.
Facebook. I had to think there for a second. Facebook and her website. And be sure to check out her book. Grab a copy of that book because I know I'm going to grab a copy. I just love supporting my guests that come on Tea Time and get to know them a little deeper with all of the things that they do. So I will be doing the 21-day challenge and I will be grabbing a copy of that amazing book because there's some beautiful pictures in there. I love nature. So again, another grabber for me. My library is just growing and growing and growing, but that's okay because I actually know the authors, so I kind of have an inside scoop on all of my books.
Right.
So I want to thank you again, Kirsten. And if you need anything at all, don't be shy to reach out.
Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it.
And we will be back tomorrow with a new Tea Time, and we will be sharing a little harder subject. So tomorrow, if you are a little triggered, I will have trigger warnings because it will be a hard subject to be sharing. So again, tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. I have a new guest. And then next week, I have 2 more amazing guests. And a week after, I have 2 more amazing guests. They just keep coming. So tune in. Every week, you will receive 2 Tea Times by Miss Liz. So you never know what I bring to the table. And it's not always going to be about tea. I might just surprise you. So again, thank you. And I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. with a new Tea Time.
Thank you.